Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a local provider of fiber optic-based internet, TV, and phone services. Smithville's quantum fiber optic network allows large amounts of data to travel around the world from local homes and businesses. More at smithville.net. IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. publichealth.indiana.edu. And WTIU members, thank you.
Look who decided to join us. We certainly missed you last time, Daryl, but what a show we have for you tonight.
Yes, and I'm extremely excited to be here for this one, and you should be too. We'll meet a young cyclist who brought incredible courage and determination to the Little 500. Travel to Kokomo, Indiana to learn how one school district is going to the extreme to save on spending. We visit a wonderful artist whose art can be seen across the world, and welcome Nashville, Tennessee artist Woody Pines for some of Down Home Americana. It's going to be a great night, so stay with us.
Right here at the Weekly Special.
Hello, I'm Daryl Neer.
And I'm Erica Sagone. Daryl, it's great to have you back.
It's great to be back.
Are you sure you weren't playing hooky to enjoy this really nice weather we've been having?
I was enjoying the weather and I was outside.
Well, one of my favorite things to do this time of year is enjoy some of the races that are all across Indiana. And certainly one of the most famous is the Little 500. The Little 500 showcases extraordinary stamina and determination. But for one particular cyclist, that fierce spirit wasn't just for the race, it was for the race of his life.
The adrenaline, the courage, the endurance. For over 60 years, the Little 500 has drawn thousands of cycling enthusiasts from across the world.
I actually would come down to the race in high school, trying to explain it to people of, well, it's a bike race. Well, it's kind of like a relay race, but it's not quite. Bike's kind of the baton sort of thing. It was definitely something that was very interesting, and seeing the hoopla that went along with it of a campus of 40,000 that gets excited for 200 laps in a circle, and guys that train year-round for 2 hours a year. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I kind of really just dove right in and started really trying to just figure out the ins and outs of the whole sport.
Tom's love of cycling led him to IU, where as a freshman he started training with Delta Upsilon Cycling. His dedication and hard work earned him a spot on the team his sophomore year, until a mysterious illness turned his fight for the race into a fight for his life.
I felt fine, just nothing was staying down. So I started to take time off from the bike, just assuring the three guys like, oh, I'm fine, don't worry about it. Just quick bug, we'll get over it.
But after multiple trips to the hospital and no relief to his illness, Tom was forced to leave that semester and the team in search for answers.
I obviously felt bad for the team. I felt worse that I had put in all this time and effort, and I wasn't going to see that team all come together the way we wanted. Someone else was going to take my spot. But at the same time, I completely understood that I needed to get this taken care of. We needed to figure out what was going on. Obviously, we had no way to know that it was going to end in the way it did.
Shortly after returning home, Tom underwent emergency surgery when doctors were forced to remove 19 feet of his small intestine. Over the subsequent 3 years, he would endure 29 additional emergency surgeries. Tom's once athletic body plummeted to a frail 83 pounds.
And I remember sitting in one of the waiting rooms and pretty much breaking down, because it was the first time I realized and was able to say with honesty that I am lucky to be alive. That I had, it's a strange feeling to be able to say that and actually mean it. Really was definitely an attitude shift of, you kind of got to take charge and realize this is going to end one of two ways, and make it the way that you want it to end.
Doctors felt that Tom had only one option left. On October 4th, 2012, almost 3 years after getting sick, Tom underwent a triple organ transplant, a gift that would allow him to reclaim his life and his bike.
I have like one of those little bike computers. It has all the dates and it has this giant chunk of time missing, and I do remember loading that up and starting to cry because it's almost like it bugged me that this entire period was just, I don't know, the difference between one file and the next. Like there was just so much that happened in there, and just the fact that I guess that my computer had the nerve not to acknowledge that was, that sucked. So I really made a point of everything that I had lost in that 3 years, I will get back. And the bike was the biggest statement. If I could get that part back, that would have been just the final, it's done, it's over. That was just a period of my life with a definitive beginning point, a definitive end point.
Returning to IU, Tom set out to earn a new spot on his old team, Delta Upsilon Cycling.
And they're like, all right, well, let's ride together, because I knew he'd been riding, but I had no idea what to expect, because I have no idea what kind of shape he's going to be in and what kind of condition he is, if he can ride more than, I don't know, 5 miles. And then when I first rode with him, he killed me the first day. We ended up riding like 40 miles, just, hammering it all day, and I was really impressed. After we rode, I think I came and said, look, if you want to be on this team, it's all yours. Like you're welcome back at any point. Everything he does, he sort of puts everything in perspective for you. We might not be the strongest team out there, but we have something and someone we're fighting for, and we want to give everything we have just for Tom.
And that perspective will carry the team through. Though there was little hope for a trophy after an early fall, for the team it was more than just a race.
When Rob went in, he was supposed to finish the race, and he's saying, no, Tom, you go in. And I was going, no, you've put in 4 years on this team. We kind of went back and forth, and he said, all right, I'll go in. And I said, I swear, I said, don't come out. I said, finish the race, finish it for the team. And he kind of smiled at me, and I knew what he was going to do. And
it was his race. I've raced before. It was a perfect ending to sort of like a great year, I think. And at the end of the day, we're proud of what we did, but we're prouder that we had this guy here and all our fans are cheering for him right around lap 200.
I took it all in. I mean, it was just the most surreal I had finally gotten there, and I think the tears started to come when, as I went by, I heard one of the fan sections start clapping pretty loud, and their team was nowhere to be found. And then as I went down the backstretch, it kind of started to follow me, and I hope that people can look at it and look at everything I'm doing and realize that you're not sick forever. It's definitely something I carry with me, but it's something I'm proud of.
I think I've learned probably more from him this year than I have in college, to be honest. I think, being an organ donor, just checking that box in your license to what it's like spending a long time in a hospital or always being there for someone. I mean, when you see him and talk to him and hang out with him, you have no idea that he is just probably the bravest, toughest kid you know. And you would have no idea that he's done more in his 24 years of life than most people go through in their entire life.
Tom is a passionate volunteer for the Indiana Organ Procurement Organization. Learn how to become a donor yourself and save lives like Tom's at IOPO.org. And Daryl, Tom's big message through this whole thing is that it's possible for organ donor recipients to really get back to a normal way of life. And for Tom, that's why it was so important to ride in the Little 500.
And what an amazing platform to provide that message.
Yeah.
While Tom was harnessing an inner spirit, our next subjects are harnessing something completely different.
Schools across the state are battling dwindling educational funding. Faced with a disappearing budget, Kokomo's Northwestern School Corporation opted for a more extreme approach.
One of the things we've had to do is look at every possible way to save money, and our emphasis is on that is we want to keep teachers in the classrooms, we want to continue to purchase curricular materials. Some things you can't save a lot of money on, but energy is an area where we were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we thought there were ways we can save money there, a lot of money. And we thought just kind of joking around, said, "Would it be really neat if we could make some of our own energy?" We did a little research. We realized that we have a great wind resource here in the Northwestern School District, right in this area. A concept like building a wind turbine in a school is a little hard for people to wrap their head around. That idea, you know, the school community bought into it, and we moved forward. We also realized that we could sell renewable energy credits. So some of those things made the financial model work. We were very interested in using the renewable resource we had, and we thought it would be a great example for students right on our campus so they could see that we were kind of walking the walk, not just talking.
Aided by wind energy experts' performance services for necessary studies, and the approval of clean renewable energy bonds to offset the project's cost, Northwestern started construction in June of 2012.
We had a lot of people come and visit to see these giant tower pieces and big blades all riding on site. We actually set up bleachers in the south lawn of the campus. I mean, you don't think of driving to a school campus and seeing an installation like that, a wind turbine that, you know, when the blade's straight up, it's 326 feet, kind of dominates the landscape. And I think people see the wind turbine and they think, you know, there's a school that is willing to think outside the box. I think those are probably the two big selling points. The educational impact it has the potential to have for many years, and also the financial impact.
Since the summer of 2012, the wind turbine has produced about 3 million kilowatts of power. Over the next 25 years, it is predicted to save the district nearly $7 million. But the wind turbine isn't just providing money for educational resources, it is an educational resource.
One of the jobs of a teacher is to instruct, but another job is to motivate. And as a science teacher, I'm always looking for ways for students to see why science can be used either as a career or even if not as a career, just to see why it's important in the real world. Certainly having a wind turbine right outside our door makes it more real. We can read about all these things. We can read about fossil fuels versus renewables. We can study energy consumption, but it's all a little abstract to the students. But when they can see that thing spinning, it makes these ideas more real. They can see how it works, and they can see that it does work. You can't build a coal plant or a nuclear power plant in the classroom, but what's exciting about wind energy is it's something that the students can build with their own hands. The model wind turbine is really a great way just to look at the basic scientific method. You've got a problem. How are we going to best harness the energy in moving air? They've got all these things they can try. How many blades? How long are the blades going to be? What shape are they going to be? They build a model, in this case a literal scale model, and they test it out.
It's better than staring at a worksheet that's in front of you the whole time and doing it that way. It's better to try to create something yourself, and then you get to see what you produce and stuff like that. So it's really cool to have it right outside the door, because when it's out there you can see what it actually does and how it powers the school and the design of it, and then you get to incorporate that in the project rather than if we had to look on pictures online or anything like that.
At Northwestern, we're always trying to prepare students for the future. We take the best things that we've learned from the past, but we also try and look forward. And whether that's the type of technologies that we're adopting with our one-to-one instruction, or whether that be preparing them for the new economy, it seems clear that energy is going to be a big part of the future economy of America. Right now there's some big developments in oil and gas, but in the future it's clear that solar and wind are also going to be very big players. We're trying to get our students ready for that. We're trying to let them see all the possibilities and prepare them to enter careers where they'll be part of future solutions.
And you can learn more about the wonderful projects going on at Northwestern by visiting the school's website. You know, it's absolutely amazing how much money is going into education here, and it's not just administrators involved, it's students as well.
And this endeavor recently won a really cool competition called Recycle Bowl at the state level. And speaking of recycling, we've featured this artist before, and her artwork was just selected to be in a special gallery, Midwestern Voices and Visions. So we wanted to share her story again.
My My name is Sayaka Gans, and I'm an artist. I make sculptures primarily. My Shinto belief, the belief that even inanimate objects can have a soul. I grew up playing with my mother's scrap materials because my mother always had various hobbies. You know, we were always told not to waste things. These items can be beautiful and valuable to us. When I can give these objects a new home, a new place that they can belong to and can look beautiful together, that makes me very happy. I want to promote environmental awareness in a way that's not creating a negative incentive. I think when you're given a negative incentive, you are motivated to do what's required of you, but just the minimum. What if you can do something else that's beautiful and fun and exciting? The very first step is collecting the materials. For example, I have right now 2 bins that are black, 3 that are white, a couple red, maybe 3 or 4 blues. I'm always collecting. I love making something new. So far, my favorite out of everything I've made is the pair of horses that I recently completed. So when I have an animal that I need to make, I will first do a lot of research, pictures on the internet, from books. Sometimes it just takes more design than accurate depiction from the pictures. Most of the research is for making the armature, the wire structure inside of the sculptures. So a little bit more than half of the production time goes into creating these armatures. When it gets to this stage, that's the exciting part for me. It's nothing like working with the plastic. That's the part that I have the most fun with. They almost become brush strokes. So I kind of think of it as three-dimensional impressionism. And I've always loved puzzles. Anytime I have 2 different shapes, it becomes a puzzle. And I like to look at how they look together, juxtaposed in different angles. I just love putting shapes together. So anytime I find the silhouette that I'm looking for, it just makes me very happy. It's just exhilarating. I'm trying to make these objects that are discarded by people and that don't really have homes anymore, and trying to make them happy. We need to change our thinking about what we think of as valuable.
You can learn more about the Midwestern Voices and Visions Gallery opening June 13th in Detroit by visiting her website, sayakagans.com.
Well, if art is about creating a character, then our next musician is nothing if not an artist. Let's meet Woody Pines.
One, two, 1, 2, 3.
I remember listening to Bob Dylan, and I remember, this guy can't sing, but I've always loved his voice, and he was actually a big inspiration because if he could do it, then I can do it. And I also heard a lot of these old blues records that were really scratchy, like the 78 RPM, and it just sounds like kind of ghosts. And I actually used to stuff my mouth full of bread when I was really young because I wanted to sound like an old man. I grew up in the Northeast, tucked up in the corner, and I think when you're born in a small town, you kind of want to just get out. And me and a friend of mine bought a Greyhound bus ticket to the West Coast, and I didn't even know that many people existed, you know. I met Native Americans and people who were running away from crazy lives, you know. I met a guy who had cancer, and he was just riding the bus into the sunset. He had no idea what he was going to do. So all these stories kind of just, I don't know, I started to become fascinated by the people's America instead of the America that I learned in textbooks. The way I see it is there's like this whole village of these characters living together. America is really new, and sometimes when you're born here you don't realize it. And I think those characters that inhabit that world, we're kind of defining our mythology in a sense. You know, we're figuring out who our heroes are. So John Henry, you know, steel driving man, beat the steam drill with his bare hands. You know, those people like that are going to live and be American icons forever, I think. When you look at the old traditions of storytelling, they kind of put on a mask and became a character. So yeah, I think Woody Pines is very much a character that is being developed. You know, your parents tell you, oh, it's just a hobby. And I remember thinking one day that I'm a lifer, and playing on the streets, you really know right away whether your music's working or not. You learn really fast by counting how much money you made at the end of the day. When I stopped playing on the street, we've transitioned to some songs that go a little bit more emotional, and of course on the street you're trying to hook them in with some really fast jug band or ragtime stuff. So playing the different venues has brought me to want to do a larger sound or a more emotional. Of course, I never want to give up playing on the street, and I always said if I ever gave it up or got too big of a head to play on the street, then I would quit. So I never want to do that. I always want to be able to play, you know. When I was trying to think up a name of our music, which it's hard to pinpoint, we take influences from every aspect of American music, you know. I always wanted to describe it with that hiss that I tried to recreate on the 78s, you know, and that old scratchy AM radio sound. There's an overall feeling in the band of homemade good time, that you can have a good time on your own, and you don't need a ton of, you know, resources to bang out a up-tempo song on a guitar and a bass, and if we don't have a bass, we'll do it on a jug or a washtub bass. So I like that kind of homemade ruckus that we make. I think is inspiring to me. And of course, I'm a songwriter, so every song kind of has its own mission a little bit, and you kind of send them off into the world and see what they do.
And now, Woody Pines.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Said Long John had him a pair of shoes, crazy shoes, ever did see. Got a heel in the front, got a heel behind. Never tell her which way Long John was gone. He was long gone, long gone. The moment every time that you say he was long gone, long gone. Said Long John had him a funny little boat, crazy boat, ever did float. He got an engine in the front, got a motor behind. Never tell her which way Long John was gone. He was long gone, long gone. He was long now, gone, long gone. Oh, where'd he go, buddy, where'd he go? Said Long John had him Cadillac, could not tell the front from the back. Had a steering wheel on every side. I'm going riding in a Long John's ride. Said long gone, long gone. In the morning every time that you say he was long gone, long gone. Where'd he go, man? Said Long John had him bumper shoot, ever did see. You got a bumper in the front, got a shoe behind. Never tell her which way Long John was gone. He was long gone, long gone. He was long now gone, long gone.
To get Woody's latest tour schedule or more information on his album, visit his website, woodypines.com. Erica, that's all the time we have for tonight.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
And once again, Woody Pines.
It's dedicated to all those vampires out there. I woke up this morning just as cold as the grave. I'm going down to Old Bat Cave. They kicked me out of town cause I wouldn't behave. Transylvania kind of girl's all I crave. On me, oh my, mine's with a face, you're addicted to blood. On me, oh my, mine's with a face, you're addicted to blood.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by Smithville, a local provider of fiber optic-based internet, TV, and phone services. Smithville's quantum fiber optic network allows large amounts of data to travel around the world from local homes and businesses. More at smithville.net. IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement. publichealth.indiana.edu. And WTIU members, thank you.